My presentation is on hoarding. So, hoarding is the difficulty in getting rid of and throwing away possessions and belongings. Things can be hoarded regardless of its value, meaning it doesn't have to be something that you've had for a really long time, and it doesn't have to be something that was really expensive. The reasons for hoarding might be because the victims give a certain item or possession some kind of value and uniqueness. Uniqueness meaning that, oh, this is really different, I need to keep it. Or, oh, this could be useful in the future, even knowing that you might not ever come across a situation where you might need or use that. And some people hoard also because they don't really have much else in life. Some people have this void and emptiness that they feel that they somehow think that possessions and belongings can fill that void. So a lot of the time they try to hold on to things like that to help them make them feel better. So symptoms of hoarding include struggling to keep organized and the inability to actually throw away those possessions. And the inability with throwing away those possessions also comes along with anxiety because, as I mentioned earlier, that these hoarding victims create some kind of value of these items, so they get anxiety feeling that they might be missing out on it, that they might be missing out on the use of it. So they feel a lot of anxiety, and they do feel anxiety because of that, and also because they don't want anyone else to be enjoying their possessions that they could have been enjoying themselves. Another symptom is social isolation because a symptom of hoarding is embarrassment. A lot of hoarding victims are not proud of their disorder. They almost all of the time have a messy, disorganized home because of their hoarding and belongings. So that keeps them isolated a lot of the time because they don't have people over, they don't have people around them in their home. So that can create some kind of social anxiety as well. The obsessive thought that everything is important is a symptom because, as I said earlier, the anxiety that comes with it and the uniqueness that they've attached to it. Another symptom could be health hazards and health issues as well, because a lot of the time when people are hoarding, they're not organized, they're not clean, they're not well kept. So a lot of mold and dust can be collected, which isn't good for your breathing. It's just not good for the environment around you to be living in or to be surrounded in at all. Especially for those who are collecting animals or bugs and pets. That would create a lot of health issues as well because of your environment that you're living in. Another symptom could be the emotional attachment to items, as I said earlier, in terms of value, as well as personifying items, giving them a name, giving them feelings, and giving them that uniqueness. The prevalence rate is between 5 to 14 million people, which is actually twice as many people that have been diagnosed with OCD, which means that it's much more common than people think, which is really surprising. I was surprised myself. Hoarding is also more common amongst men. So a symptom of hoarding disorder would be exposure therapy, which would force the victim to throw out a big amount of belongings. This works. Sometimes it doesn't because a lot of patients they create anger towards the person who is making them throw all of this away. They feel anger and anxiety. So sometimes it helps them realize. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it just makes them want to hoard even more. Another treatment would be cognitive behavioral therapy, which would teach methods to change behavior and feelings, which would further help prevent the hoarding and help them realize that what they're doing not only isn't sanitary, but it isn't safe and it isn't healthy.